Hi, my name is Allison Appleby. I am a young adult with a disability, and I'm so excited to be speaking with Good Morning Bolivar on June 10th at 8 a.m. at Jose's with free breakfast. I'm super excited to be there.
Hey everybody, I'm David with Bolivar Live, and we've got an educational show today, but it's a different educational show, and I'm really pumped up about it because it's something that we don't think about. Now think about having a 4.0 at Texas A&M. Being told you can't be in a beauty pageant and then winning it. Welcome. It's Allison Appleby. And Allison, thanks for coming in today.
No, thank you.
Let's educate people.
Yeah.
And everything I said was right. She has a 4.0 in biochemistry. Man, I can't even put on a Band-Aid, let alone a 4.0. But let's educate people as you grew up.
Yes.
You didn't know you had epilepsy.
No.
First, there's different disabilities.
Yes, absolutely.
And epilepsy is one of them. There's a whole list of them. What's the official name of what you have?
I have absence and focal seizures.
Okay.
So they're hard to tell it's coming on. Most people wouldn't even notice I have them, but they do affect pretty much everything I do.
Let's talk about what they affect.
Yeah, so what you would originally see from an outside perspective is you would think I'm just staring off into space or just not paying attention. But what I'm feeling is I will either lose my sight, some of my hand, I've gone paralyzed in my arms before. I have gone deaf in one ear. One time I forgot to speak, kind of like stroke side effects. But most people can't see that. They don't see it coming on. I've had week-long migraines. I had an eye twitch for 3 months after a seizure, but it's not something that's noticeable to the outside perspective.
So you graduated high school.
Yes.
You went to college.
Yes.
Texas A&M. Pristine. Great college.
Absolutely.
How was your first year?
It was rocky. I definitely struggled, especially being in such a difficult major. People tend to underestimate your abilities as anyone, much less disabled. And I did struggle with both professors and students kind of understanding that I am capable despite being disabled. And a lot of people didn't even notice I was disabled at first, despite the fluffy puppy. So it was hard kind of communicating with people, getting them to understand. And it was especially hard getting accommodations, not on the school's point, because they were great about giving me the accommodations I needed. It was just trying to get everyone on board with them. Some days I needed to stay home. I was sick. I needed an absence. Some days I just had a seizure during the exam. I needed to leave the exam early. And it was even as simple as I had a seizure during class and missed a part of the information that the professor gave me. And it was really hard at first because it was also kind of embarrassing. A lot of people didn't think I was capable of the information or I was capable of passing classes. And it took some time to prove myself.
I think a 4.0 pretty well figures out that you've got a handle on things. Let's talk about education, and this is probably going to be a two-part series. Let's talk about educating other people.
Yes.
Has the college worked with you, and did they take into your account educating them and changing it for other people?
Yeah, so a lot of people don't really understand epilepsy, which I totally understand. Even doctors themselves have admitted they don't have the education. They aren't educated on it as much as they could be. Okay. There is a lack of education on epilepsy, and there's so many different types of seizures that it's hard to understand. So it was hard to communicate with professors, but you're also dealing with different education types. So you are dealing with students, group projects, or just working with peers. And, as a college kid, you aren't aware of things. You're just kind of in your own little world. So it was hard getting people to understand. If I was staring off into space, they thought I was staring at them, that kind of thing. But professors tend to be open-minded, especially being in a STEM field where a lot of professors have a healthcare background. They were really open-minded about it. Now, I did experience some old-fashioned professors that didn't really care to understand, but we worked through the kinks. We got through it, and we get through each semester pretty well.
Great, great. Let's talk about Brady. He walked in here The first thing everyone did was flock to him.
Yes.
Is that a natural for everything?
Oh, yeah. And I will say, before having a service dog, I would have been the same way. I mean, you see a dog in public, you're going to want to go pet them or see them. And as I always say, my dog is working. If you want to go pet a dog, go to the shelter, go see another dog. But it does get, I understand wanting to go pet the dog. I do have to add about 20 minutes to my commute to class every day because people want to stop, pet the dog, ask questions. Totally understandable. And you work around it. I have business cards that explain what Brady does and his job, so I can get to class faster.
Does he have his own social media page or anything?
Yes, he does have an Instagram.
Does he?
And I'm really bad about posting on it. I need to get better, but we do use a lot of social media to educate people on it so that they understand that Brady is working, and a big part of his training is being able to navigate through those distractions. So whether it's a little kid pulling on his ear, pulling on his tail, or someone trying to come play with him, I've had people try to pick him up. I've had someone put their kid on his back. You name it, it's happened.
It's happened.
So we train to work around that, though.
Speaking of Brady, you said something to me earlier when I was asking you about how you're educating people and, you know, are you advocating for disabilities? And you said, yes, you spoke a lot at elementary schools. Let's talk about why you chose elementary schools and how they get to the adults.
I like to say kids are the least judgmental person you can find. Kids are so open-minded. So I started to realize when I started taking Brady out that kids were the ones that were telling their parents, no, the dog is working, we can't pet them. And that's kind of what inspired me to go talk to children is you start young and they're more open-minded about it. So I would explain what seizures are, and I explained that Brady's working. You can't always go pet the puppy if they have a vest. And of course, ask first. And they start educating their parents. So I started at the bottom of the food chain kind of and worked my way up. So as kids were more understanding and more educated on it, it was slowly getting there. And of course, they want to learn about the dog and they want to see different things. Kids want to learn, whereas some adults just don't care enough or they just don't have the time to care.
Okay. We're going to wind this one down real quick, but you're going to be speaking at Good Morning Bolivar.
Yes.
On June 10th, I believe is the day. Yes, June 10th. It's at Jose's, and she's got a whole presentation that she's going to give on young adult epilepsy and the steps you can take to help make it better. Now, we're going to come back with next week's show, and we're going to talk about adult disabilities and their acceptance on Bolivar Peninsula at area businesses versus other cities. So, Allison, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to head on out. We'll be back next week with the rest of this awesome show. Until next time, I'm David with Bolivar Live. Y'all have a great day, great week. Come see us. God bless, and bye-bye. Video equipment is sponsored by Crystal Beach Decor and More, located at 1959 Highway 87 in Crystal Beach, Texas, and Beachy Beatnik Boutique and Jewelry, located at 970 Surfside and Highway 87 in Crystal Beach, Texas. Thank you to these two businesses for being our 2025 video equipment sponsor for Bolivar Live.